That's not funny. It's not funny. I don't know why I'm laughing. It's not funny. You know what it's like? It's like you're in a car and you're winning the race, and some other car goes, and you're like, "Hey guys, who was that? What was that? Somebody just passed. I'm not in first place anymore. Somebody just passed me. Guys, tell me what's happening." It's like, it's a dangerous game to play. Yeah. Well, look, there's a great danger in sustainability. Like there's this buzzword, sustainability. We've got to sustain things. We've got to keep things the same. But if you look at the universe doesn't sort of stay at one point. It's always oscillating. It's always moving. And I don't think anybody at any point in time in their life can think that sustainability is progress, because you've got to move in some way. You've got to move forward. You've got to develop. You've got to progress. And sustain. The downside of sustainability is it means not progressing, and not making things better, and not changing when you need to change, and not listening to your client, and not listening to your customer, and not being there for them, because at the end of the day, we all need to be, to some extent, customer-centric. Yeah. And there was a point in time in history where information flowed very slowly, and you could be slow and still win. But now information travels so quickly that everything changes in a second. It used to be in the past that newspapers told you what was new. That time is finished. All newspapers do today is tell you the history of what happened. You know, newspapers at the beginning were seen as prophetic and telling the future, and oh my God, this is just so real about now. But that's when information traveled slowly. Now, because of, again, the social media madness, what happened 5 minutes ago is old. And customers are getting this information now very, very quickly. A lot of things coming out in the news through social media, through information from other people, and the world can change quickly in less than a day. Sometimes in a minute, the world can change quickly. One piece of information from one place can make you think about something, and that can cause a whole chain of events. And so not being centered towards the needs of the customer is always a giant mistake, because that's where your future is in people. Everybody's future is in people. All products depend on people. Whether you're in the manufacturing side or the consuming side, all products depend upon people and their skills and abilities. So Facebook are releasing, through their subsidiary company Oculus, a virtual reality headset. And this is related to what we're talking about. It's also something I know about because it's my hobby and interest. And they asked the people, what do you want? And the people said, we want better graphics, we want a faster processor, we want more games or applications, depending upon your use, and we want a cheaper price. Facebook said.
Of what? It means
of the overall product, which is a headset and controllers. Facebook said, okay, they gave these conditions, this remit to their developers to develop this. And in 3 weeks' time, Facebook will be releasing this new product to the market. Designed, developed, manufactured, distributed, sold, delivered in the middle of a worldwide pandemic. Boom. They have just blown every other company, except with the exception maybe of Amazon, right out of the water. There's no other company doing that. Show me no car manufacturer is doing it, no house builder is doing it. There's no, Google is like, we're good. It's just creating new versions of old products and giving them nice names. And but not really actually developing it. I think the Google search engine and algorithm hasn't really progressed for the last 7 or 8 years. So I mean it's time for something to be built which is new and different and alternative and better, and hopefully some small company somewhere will do that. And the more that people investigate what these companies are doing, then the more people will see the different avenues and choices that exist. But this is exactly what the consumer asked for on the market. What do you want? We want these 4 things. Okay, we'll build it. And they build it, I think, to sell at a loss, at a slight loss, on the main product, because everything else that they sell around it, they will sell on a profit, right? You need your core that then everything feeds into, right? Like when you buy a car, the basic form of the car is like a package, it's like a shell, and then you can get all these little extras, and on these little extras and the maintenance and the extra things around it, big business, big profit. But they want to get the car they got to get the car to you first, so they're prepared to take a little bit of a loss on that, because they know once you've got the car, they've got you. It's that old saying to be careful to watch that what you own does not own you. Because once you've got that iPhone, you have to buy all your apps from the iStore. Right, they've got you. Once you've got that Android, you've got to get all your apps from the Google Store or the Play Store or whatever it's called. Yes, there are other ways, but they're more complicated. And people want an easy life. So this is a stunning example. Now, love Facebook or hate Facebook, everybody in the world has a love-hate relationship because everyone's different, right? But you know what? I respect and admire this amazing ability, because I haven't heard anyone else talk about it, right? People are talking about the problems. Here's a company that have created one of the best products on the market for one of the cheapest prices in one of the hardest times. Which shows you a number of things. One of the most important being that being customer-centric is key to any business. Because if they just produced what they wanted, if they continued the same way that they'd always done, this would not be successful. Because the result right now is that everybody in that community is talking about, Here's a company that actually listens. And you know what? Maybe that's why they became so big. Maybe that's why they became so popular. Maybe that's why everybody uses them.
Mm-hmm.
Because they listen. Even if they're listening to you and you don't want them to listen to you, they're still listening. And that matters. Fundamental keys of business. Talk less, listen more. Yeah, because the fundamentals, the foundations, the bottom line, the good stuff never changes.
Mm-hmm.
The good stuff never changes. All this talking, this is my final point here. All this talking in your company about doing this way and doing that way and getting this information to these people and creating this and setting up this network and these programs and these blah 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 blah. There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of energy being used up, which could be used in a different way.
Mm.
Could be used to go out and to listen to the customer and listen to the customer's needs, rather than trying to force the customer into this narrow, small box that is, this is the way we're going to operate now. You operate our way or you don't operate with us. Well, that's not going to go very well. Right, and maybe there's something I don't see. Maybe there's some kind of future-mindedness that this is going to change everything. But the fundamentals haven't changed for thousands of years. There's very little difference between going to a market in Jerusalem in the Middle East 2,000 years ago and selling your product there and selling a product today. The people haven't really changed that much. You can argue the technology has changed, but people haven't.
Mm-hmm.
Still the same. We're still emotional beings. You know, we still get angry and frustrated and nervous and happy on the other side. We still have the same problems. You know, what was the Bible saying? The Bible was saying, government is authoritarian and wants to control everybody. They want us to pay too many taxes. You know, that was the central conflict in the biblical story. And we still have exactly the same problem today. Because, you know, history is this wave, this roller coaster of experiences. So yeah, you know, it's a giant, it's a mistake when your competition is like getting there. Yeah. The guys who go to the clubs get the girls.
Yeah.
Right? It's been that way for a long time. Yeah. The guys who sit at home, they miss out.
Yes.
On a lot of stuff. Like this technology is fine for reaching out. It's fine in terms of entertainment, which is what 90+% of the technology really is. It's a kind of entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
For people. It's very hard to use it constructively and productively, which is why we have to take our lead, as much as I don't want to, take our lead from the big organizations. We have to look at what Facebook are doing, look at what Amazon are doing. Amazon have just released little drones that connect to your Amazon Alexa machine, and they fly around your home. Right? And you know what? People are going to buy that because there'll be some advantage to them for it. I don't know, whatever. The drones will be able to find where you left your keys, or they'll be able to, you know, that they'll help you with some little problem that you have, or they'll be able to tell you what's in the fridge, or whatever. There'll be some useful purpose, because Amazon haven't created it for no reason at all. They're going to know what, and they've got all the data because Alexa is listening all the time. So so they will know what it is that people need, and you know, that's why, you know, why are people moving away from organizations like Google? Because, you know, Google's fixing its algorithms and search terms and promoting certain things, and that's not what people want. You know, when people search for the best in something, they want to find the best, not what somebody else thinks is the best. Yeah, because, yeah, at the end of the day, the people are right. At the end of the day, the customer is always right, because the customer can turn around and say, I don't want this. If you serve bad food, I know I'm preaching to the converted, but if you serve bad food in your restaurant, people won't come back. They'll just go to another restaurant. If we have any left open in this economy, right? At least you can get takeaway food or something, whatever. But yeah, it's strangely enough, in a consumer-orientated society, people vote with their money, they vote with their feet, they vote with their voice. There's like a punishment for companies that don't listen to what their clients want. And people go elsewhere. Eventually, they get tired. They look for other options, and they look through people that they know, and you know, that human contact can't be replaced with other things. Yeah. The internet is nice, but I think it sold us a lie. It sold us a lie that everything could be replaced. Not everything can be replaced. Not everything can be substituted for. Some things are really good, but not everything can be substituted for. The things are different, but not the same. You know, Skype and Zoom are nice, but it's not the same as being in a room with people.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just, you know, there are many things I don't like about school, but I can tell you the things I do like as well. Like the energy of bringing people and ideas together. It's great. You know, if you walk into a school with children, and it's a good school, and most schools function, I think, reasonably well, that there's an energy there. There's a vibration. There's a feeling of things going on, at least in the good schools. And it's because you're bringing people together, which is the right thing to do. Eventually, final point, eventually there will be a renaissance where everybody will reject what has happened in the last 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months. People will reject it all, and they will go back to how things were before. But this will happen again because there's bigger plans in the whole scheme of things. But eventually things will return to a normal, because that's what people want. And but people have to fight for it, because nothing is free, right? Nothing is free, especially good things. Especially good things. Got to fight for all the good things. So